The scene shifts to the prison. Deng Chanyu lifts the speech ban on Liu Nian, then strips off his shirt and ties him up. Liu Nian shouts, "Let me go. I'm Naja's younger brother. I can prove it to you." Deng Chanyu waves her hand and says, "You're talking about that locust mark on your butt, right? This is the internet age. Everyone already knows about you." Hearing that, Liu Nian silently cries to himself, "Big bro Naja, your locust mark is getting more useless by the day. No one respects it anymore except maybe the great spirit god." Deng Chanyu continues, "I'm just here to collect evidence. If you cooperate, I'll let you go. I wasn't planning to make a big deal out of this, but that wretched Liu Nian dared to humiliate me, so don't blame me for being ruthless." Then she bends down and gives a direct order, "Stick out your tongue." Liu Nian stares at her in shock. "What are you trying to do?" Deng Chanyu doesn't answer. Instead, she knees him hard in the side. Too slow. Then she grabs his jaw and forces his mouth open. Liu Nian, helpless, tries to comfort himself. A real man doesn't fuss over temporary losses. Then Deng Chanyu touches his tongue with her finger. Liu Nian panics and blurts out, "What are you doing?" Deng Chanyu calmly replies, "If I touch your tongue and tell who you've kissed lately, and even where you kissed them, I'll find everything I need." But when she saw everything clearly, she frowned slightly. "You little brat, you're disgusting. You even kissed there. Strange. Why is Liu Nian nowhere to be found?" Liu Nian couldn't take it anymore and quickly spoke up. "Let me tell you, this is personal and private." But Deng Chanyu didn't care. She cut the ropes binding him and said, "In front of Immortal, there's no such thing as privacy. If you don't want to be tortured, then press your index fingers against your middle fingers on both hands." She then reached out to touch Liu Nian's hands, but the moment she did, her expression darkened. She thought to herself, "Why is there still no trace of Liu Nian? Could it be this kid didn't even get through foreplay?" Deng Chanyu's eyes drifted downward to a certain private area. Was that the only way left to check? With that thought, she tied Liu Nian up again. Liu Nian saw her intent right away and quickly tried to stop her. Absolutely not there. But Deng Chanyu ignored him. She knelt down right in front of him, not wasting any more words. "I'm just looking for proof. If there's nothing, I'll let you go immediately." With that, she yanked Liu Nian's pants down. In that instant, a surge of intense male energy burst forth like a dragon, making her jump back in shock. "What the?" Deng Chanyu blushed a little as she took in the incredible sight before her, thinking to herself, "So the rumors are true. This kid really does have what it takes to help someone like Q Ya, who's just average, break through." Then she recalled something Liu Nian had said earlier. "You've been cultivating for 10,000 years and you're still stuck at the Celestial Foundation level. But I reached it in just over 10 years. Don't you know why that is?" Thinking back on those words, she couldn't help but feel irritated. With my talent, if the Divine Board hadn't sealed my divine soul, draining away the spiritual energy I need to cultivate, I would have advanced long ago. How could someone as insignificant as Liu Nian even be in the same realm as me? And on top of that, the Celestial Realm pushes us to do all the hard work and barely gives us any cultivation resources. It's so unfair, so infuriating. Deng Chanyu glanced again at Liu Nian's Rui staff and thought, "This kid in front of me, he's basically a living, breathing cultivation treasure, isn't he?" That thought brought a small smile to her face. Liu Nian suddenly felt a sense of unease. He looked at her and thought, "This woman, she doesn't seem like someone with good intentions." Deng Chanyu's expression shifted. She lowered her gaze and let out a cold, mocking laugh. "The so-called Divine Board is nothing but a joke. I've lived for 1,000 years and I'm still at the Celestial Foundation level. No matter how hard I train, most of the spiritual energy I gather just gets absorbed by that thing." Thinking about everything she had gone through, she said bitterly, "I have way more talent than Liu Nian, but somehow she's still ranked higher than me, and all she did was just recently reach enlightenment." When she got to this part, Deng Chanyu seemed to lose her mind. "The ironic thing is, I was forced by the immortals of doctrine must be elucidated and expanded to marry someone as ugly as Tu Xing's son. But somehow the world praises our story as a tale of leaving darkness behind to find the light." At that moment, her energy surged like a storm. How can the heavens be so unfair? Liu Nian broke into a cold sweat as he watched. "Are you okay?" he asked. Deng Chanyu stepped closer, placed her hand on Liu Nian's chest, and asked, "Do you like celestial goddesses?" Liu Nian replied instinctively, "Yeah, I do." Hearing that, Deng Chanyu's eyes lit up with joy. "So, have you ever been with a goddess before?" Right then, Liu Nian caught on to what she meant. He quickly said, "Please calm down." But it was too late. Deng Chanyu looked at Liu Nian like a starving predator. She pulled her pants down, unable to stay composed. "Today, I have to break through to the Tai Yi level. The truth is, Tufsing's son and I died in battle before we ever had our wedding night. Even after we were deified, we've lived separately. So now, this first chance is going to be with you." As she spoke, her hand moved down and began rubbing Liu Nian's pearls, making it hard for him to control himself. Liu Nian struggled to stay composed. "I mean, I'm not exactly a saint. Isn't this going a little fast? Maybe we could start with dinner, catch a movie, get to know each other first." Deng Chanyu frowned slightly. She couldn't believe someone would think things were moving too fast when everything was being handed to them. She pulled out her phone and played a video of Liu Nian killing Tuya. Tuya's voice rang out from the recording. What? How could a mere mortal do this? Watching the video, Liu Nian's face went pale. In the video, Liu Nian looked at him with a cruel glint in his eye and said coldly, "Fat pig, you're following the rules." But they might not. Deng Chanyu turned off her phone and sneered. "That's right. Tuxing's son's illegitimate son just snuck into the minigame world. I followed his trail and found out you guys killed him." Liu Nian frowned and asked suspiciously, "Why did you only take secret photos? Why didn't you help Tuya?" Deng Chanyu smiled and replied, "Because I wanted to record evidence of you using magic, and Tuya illegally breaking in. Why should I save him? If I report this, what do you think the game admins will do to you?" Hearing that, Liu Nian broke into a cold sweat. Panic welled up inside him. He might be punished immediately because of her, but she hadn't reported it yet, so she must want something. "Go ahead," he said. "What's your condition?" Deng Chanyu gave a soft smile. "I enjoy talking to smart people. I saw you at the gaming lounge today. I actually came to chat with you, but I didn't expect to catch you and Liu Nian's eye putting on quite the show in the bathroom." She chuckled and took off her bra. "So tell me, am I prettier or is Liu Nian's eye?" Liu Nian couldn't help but nosebleed at the sight of her curvy chest. "You're prettier." At that moment, his body tensed up, ready to pounce. But just as things were heating up, a game system alert flashed across the screen. Spatial cracks had appeared on the 5th floor. All game managers at or above the true immortal level were to head to Tianjian Mountain immediately. Deng Chanyu stomped her feet angrily. This game was full of bugs. Was Zhang Ziye messing around by leaving these glitches in? She quickly cut the ropes that were tying Liu Nian up. "You go on ahead. Once I'm done here, I'll come find you." Liu Nian was at a loss for words. "What are you doing?" she asked. "I'm being a fish," he replied. After Liu Nian returned to the villa, Fang Tai ran up and hugged him tightly. "The earthquake just now scared me to death. If you hadn't come back, I was going to go looking for you." Liu Nian gently replied, "Sorry, I ran into a little trouble, but it's all taken care of now." Fang Qi pouted slightly and said, "All right, but from now on, you have to tell me if something happens." Liu Nian was a bit startled, but answered, "Okay." Fang Tai turned to the young nurse nearby and said, "Take Liu Nian to get cleaned up and wash his clothes for him." The girl gave a small bow and replied, "Yes, miss." Liu Nian quickly went to take a shower. Lying in the tub, he thought to himself, "I'm still just a regular person. If I didn't have the treasure from the star-picking tower that lets me use demon abilities, I'd probably be dead a dozen times by now. Those high-level demons still need to be captured. But I've got to level up to 100 soon and pass the trials to become a true cultivator. If I can make it to the celestial mystic level, I'll be able to learn even more spells from the immortals. The skills in this game aren't enough anymore, not against real demons or even some of the gods. Tonight, once everyone's asleep, I'll head over to Daji's place to get some buffs. It'll help me level up faster." Outside the bathroom, the young nurse took Liu Nian's clothes to do the laundry. She brought them close and took a quick sniff. A faint smile crossed her face. This was his scent. It had such a masculine aroma, and just that smell alone was enough to make her feel captivated. "I really am shameless," she thought. After a few moments of indulging in his scent and getting a little too excited, she finally put the clothes into the washing machine. But the floor, well, that was a bit hard to explain. Her cheeks turned red. If Liu Nian ever found out what I was like, he'd definitely hate me. That night, once everyone had fallen asleep, Liu Nian quietly slipped away to return to the tomb in search of Daji. He sat down in a chair and muttered to himself, "It's been a while since I came to see Daji to top up my buffs. Lately, I've been relying too much on magic weapons in battle, but my own strength still isn't enough. If I run into a demon that can launch a continuous attack, no number of lives would be enough to beat them. I can't afford to ignore leveling up to 100 and passing the celestial trial." Just then, a graceful and alluring figure approached. But it wasn't Daji, it was Tian Tian. She spoke softly, "My king, you're here." Tian Tian hugged him so tightly that Liu Nian almost passed out from lack of air. Fortunately, he managed to push her away just in time. Gasping for breath, Liu Nian caught his wind and asked, "Where's Daji? I need to level up and refresh my buffs." Tian Tian heard that and blushed slightly. She spoke softly, Your Majesty, if it's to enhance your strength, I can help too. Liu Nian hesitated, thinking to herself, it's been a long time since I visited. If I don't go to see Daji, will she be upset? But when faced with Tian Tian's gentle gaze and sweet, tender voice, she slowly nodded. Then I'll leave it to you, Tian Tian. Tian Tian smiled, raised her hand slightly, and began channeling a spell. A faint glow spread from her palm. Your Majesty, let me transfer more energy to you. As the support spell entered his body, Liu Nian's figure emitted a brilliant light. A surge of energy burst forth, causing his armor to rattle. A strap suddenly snapped and flew outward, lightly striking Tian Tian on the cheek, making her jump. Ah, what was that? She exclaimed while holding her cheek. That startled me. At that moment, Liu Nian's body radiated blinding light. Behind his back appeared the spectral image of 9 golden dragon heads spiraling in midair. Each one roared. We'd have been awakened. Tian Tian stood frozen, looking up, murmuring as she counted 1, 2, 3, all the way to 9 dragon heads. Stunned, she stepped back and whispered, Is this the 9 dragon sacred form? I'm not sure if I should keep supporting him. It might be beyond what I can handle. Just then, Daji burst through the door, her face serious. Tian Tian stepped back. His Majesty is undergoing transformation. You won't be able to control it. Leave it to me. Liu Nian looked puzzled and asked, Daji, how did it change from 9 serpent to 9 dragon? Suddenly, a tremor ran through Liu Nian's body. His entire form shone with golden light, even his eyes blazing with radiance. He furrowed his brows and said, I feel so hot, like my body is about to explode. Daji broke out in a cold sweat and explained, This is the dark magic of the 9-headed serpent, combined with your Majesty's dual cultivation physique. In human form, it's not a problem. But in the Emperor form, the serpent absorbed the essence of the human Emperor and started to change. If I can't subdue the serpent, your Majesty will? Daji paused for a moment. Tian Tian quickly asked, What will happen? Daji replied calmly, Your Majesty will explode. Hearing that, Tian Tian's face darkened and her eyes filled with tears. Seeing this, Daji shouted, Don't just stand there. Go call Yu Garen and Huaxemi right away. Tian Tian immediately ran off. I'll get the others. Daji turned back to Liu Nian and let out a sigh. Your Majesty, how did the 9-headed serpent's magic get into you? The 9 serpents evolving into 9 dragons should have been a good thing, but your Majesty hasn't reached the mystical immortal stage yet. It's like strapping a massive cannon onto a tiny boat. It could flip at any moment. She pictured dozens of cannons mounted on a small boat and sighed again. It's just too heavy. With that thought, Daji made up her mind. Your Majesty, I have to draw out the human emperor's essence from your 9 dragons. As soon as she finished speaking, Daji took off all her clothes and charged forward to face the 9 dragons. In an instant, they wrapped themselves around her, one around her arms, another around her legs, others curling around her back. Before long, she was completely bound, but she held firm, her face calm and steady. She grabbed one of the dragon heads and said, If I can help your Majesty tame the 9 dragons this time, your dual cultivation ability will improve significantly. Anyone of the opposite sex without strong enough spiritual power won't even be able to look at your Majesty's 9 dragons without being overwhelmed by their power. Daji had originally planned to resolve the issue with a simple energy channeling technique, but upon seeing Liu Nian on the verge of collapse, writhing in pain, she knew there was no time left. I can't let Liu Nian suffer like this, she thought. There's no other way. I must simultaneously use all 3 energy meridians to absorb the essence of the human emperor. Without hesitation, she raised her foot, performing an ancient incantation, provoking the golden 9 dragons. Come forth, 9 dragons, she called out. Feeling its pride provoked, the golden 9 dragons charged fiercely at her. Despite being a powerful 9-tailed fox spirit, Daji was instantly overwhelmed by their surging spiritual energy. At that moment, Liu Nian regained consciousness. Seeing the scene before him, he panicked. Daji, what are you doing? Let me go. Panting heavily, Daji responded. I would gladly give my life for your Majesty. With that, she unleashed a forbidden technique, locking her legs tightly around Liu Nian's body to stabilize his energy flow. Liu Nian broke out in a cold sweat, eyes wide in alarm. Daji, let go. I can't hold it back any longer. But Daji held firm. Your Majesty, don't worry about me. If you don't fully unleash the power of the primordial era now, you'll perish instantly. Moments later, Liu Nian could no longer contain it. Like a volcano erupting, a tremendous surge of spiritual energy exploded from within him, channeling straight into Daji. Though hit by an immense wave of raw power, Daji gritted her teeth and held her grip, trying to redirect the energy into her core. Her body trembled under the intense force as the shockwaves reverberated across her meridians. Just then, Yu Gairen rushed in. "Your Majesty, Sister Daji." Panicked, she shouted, "Sister, let me help you." As soon as they saw her, the two dragons lunged forward. Yu Gairen couldn't react in time and was quickly wrapped up by them, unable to move. They were too strong. A moment later, Hugh and me came running up. "Sister, I'm here." But the same thing happened. Before she could do anything, one of the dragon heads struck her down. Nearby, Tian saw what happened and backed away in fear. Are these the 9 dragons of the king? Just then, one of the dragon heads noticed her. Its cold, piercing eyes locked onto Tian, and with a burst of fiery energy, it breathed flames directly at her, burning away her clothes. Tian cried out in pain. "It's too hot. I feel like I'm melting." Liu Nian saw this and grew worried. "What should we do? I didn't want it to turn out like this." At that moment, he lost control again. Seeing this, Daji became tense. The king is about to lose it. "Sisters, hurry. Set up the 9 yin formation." As she finished speaking, she began to gather her demonic energy. Hugh and Yu Gairen also started casting spells to help. Daji quickly gave instructions. "I'll be the formation's core and handle 3 of the dragons. Each of you take 2. That makes 3 people for 6 heads." Hugh responded right away, "Got it, sister." Then Daji took on 3 dragon heads. Yu Gairen jumped into action too. "Come on, baby." The 2 dragon heads charged at her, furious. "You lowly thing, so arrogant." The scene shifts inside. Dragon number 5 is being massaged by patterns that feel like juicy grape clusters. Overcome with joy, it cries out, "Brother 4, there are so many grapes here. The grapes are plump and full, perfect for a facial mask." Brother 4, soaking in a grape-filled tub, scoffs and says, shallow thinking. "Grapes this good should be juiced, fermented into wine, and used for a full-body soak. That's true bliss." They're enjoying themselves when a massive flood suddenly crashes in. Dragon number 4 quickly warns, "Little brother 5, this is bad. Start spraying now to hold back the flood." The 2 of them then unleash a stream of lava-like spray to push back the floodwaters, causing a powerful reaction outside that shocks Yu Gairen. Seeing this, Hugh thinks to herself, "I can't let the older girls outdo me." She spreads her legs wide and declares, "Evil dragon, come here. Let me show you what I'm made of." Soon after, Tian breaks through to the mid-stage of Grand Demon. Overwhelmed with pleasure, she exclaims, "Big sis Daji, I can't hold on any longer. Waves of heat are crashing straight into my core." At the same time, Daji reaches the peak of the Grand Demon stage. She cheers Tian on, saying, "Hold on just a bit longer. We must suppress these so-called Emperor Dragons." Over on Hugh side, the 4 dragon heads keep spewing fire with intense force. She breaks through to the late stage of Grand Demon, and so does Yu Gairen. Meanwhile, Liu Nian is still in a state of complete loss of control. Seeing this, Daji thinks to herself, "As long as I help the king push through this challenge, with these 9 precious treasures, the king's dual cultivation power will soar." With that thought, she makes up her mind. "I'm going to drain every last drop from all of you." Then the 4 sisters launched a counterattack all at once. Water surged like a massive flood, pouring out with such force that the 9 dragon heads couldn't withstand it and became dizzy. Not long after, Liu Nian slowly regained consciousness. Holding his head, he asked, "What just happened? Why did I lose control?" Just then, he noticed Daji and the others lying naked and sprawled out across the ground. At the same time, the system notification popped up. You received the intermediate special Flesh Forest decree. Training speed will increase 4 times over the next 72 hours. The player has successfully upgraded the Great Dual Cultivation artifact into the Human Emperor Dragon Seed. You've unlocked the special skills Fiery Eyes of Insight and Eyes of Desire, which allow you to see through the desires and weaknesses of the opposite sex. The player has successfully subdued and taken control of a Human Emperor Dragon, unlocking the special skill the Hand of Desire, which amplifies the desires of the opposite sex without limit, effective within a 500-meter range. Additionally, the player's charm toward the opposite sex has increased. Through certain special physical activities, the player can rapidly gain affection from others. Liu Nian read through the notifications with a completely puzzled expression. These 2 new skills didn't seem to have any combat power at all. And what the hell is charm value supposed to mean? As soon as he finished speaking, Fiery Eyes of Insight and Eyes of Desire suddenly activated. He immediately spotted 3 weak points on Tian's body and could clearly see her current state of desire. The system also displayed a detailed panel. Tian's preferences, attack zones, insults, vulgarities, weaknesses, and pressure points. Liu Nian was speechless at this new skill. Frustrated, he held his head and sighed. What's the point of this skill? It's completely useless. But then he paused and thought again. Wait, maybe this skill will be useful for subduing demons in the star-picking tower. Let's give the Hand of Desire a try. He pointed his finger into the air and instantly, Daji's body arched. Then, like a sudden flood, a wave of energy erupted and splashed all over Liu Nian. He stared blankly at his hand, thinking, so this is how the Hand of Desire works. Next time I run into Liu Nian, I could surprise her with it and mess with her a bit. Make her lose face in front of everyone, knock her pride down a notch. Just imagining it gave him a thrill, but that was it. He sighed again. Still, it doesn't seem like it's all that useful. At that moment, Daji ran over and hugged Liu Nian, pouting sweetly. My king, you're so bad. I'm already this exhausted, and you still want to torment me. Liu Nian was touched. He gently stroked Daji's cheek and kissed her forehead. Thank you, my love. If it weren't for you, I'd be dead for sure. Daji looked at him with a satisfied gaze. This is just what I should do. Besides, I've absorbed quite a bit of essence from the Human Emperor. Once I refine it, I'll be able to raise my cultivation quickly. Then she hugged Liu Nian tightly and said, My king, this time, a blessing came from disaster. 9 snakes has advanced to 9 dragons, and our dual cultivation technique has reached a new level. Liu Nian gently patted her head and replied, It's a pity, it hasn't increased my attack power or defense. Hearing that, Daji playfully said, My king, if you want to use dual cultivation to strengthen your physical defense, I actually remember someone who might help. Liu Nian perked up with interest. Who is it? Daji softly said the name, Lady Shiji. Liu Nian was surprised when he heard it. So it's her. Daji continued, Actually, Lady Shiji was originally a leftover piece of the sky-mending stone used by Nuwa. Over time, she cultivated into a spirit. Later, she joined the radical sect, but was eventually killed by her master, Naja, the perfected one, Tai Yi. After that, her soul merged with the divine ward, and she was honored as the moon wandering star. If you can find her and cultivate with her, your physical defense will grow stronger. Even ordinary Delu golden immortals won't be able to break through your defense without using magical weapons. Liu Nian, hearing that, grew excited. Even Delu golden immortals can't break through it? That's incredible. Daji, overjoyed beside him, even have her tails perk up. She's a piece of the sky-mending stone from Lady Nuwa herself. If you absorb her spiritual energy, your body will naturally grow stronger. But Liu Nian was a little suspicious. He grabbed Daji's wagging tail and said Lady Shiji went after Naja to get revenge for her disciple's death, but ended up getting killed by Naja's master instead. I've heard a bit about this. It's a bit of a problem now. Everyone already knows I'm Naja's younger brother, and I've even got the lotus seal on my backside. The more Liu Nian thought about it, the more his head hurt, but he quickly shook it off. He enjoyed running his fingers through Daji's fluffy tail and decided to stop thinking about it for now. He figured he'd deal with it when he met Lady Shiji again. Right now, he still had the star-picking tower. That would boost his defense for the time being. If things got worse, he could always go back to the tower a few more times. He remembered the system notification. The system had reminded him that he'd unlocked the exclusive cultivation technique of the star-picking tower, the beginner-level demon sealing technique. His defense had now been upgraded to the mid-level of a high-level demon, and would last for 24 hours. Thinking about all this, Liu Nian let out a sigh. Only the White Bone Lady had advanced to Demon King rank. He'd still need to either train more or take down another Demon King to get stronger. As he thought about it, he kept stroking Daji's tail, which made her excited again. She quickly said, My king, are you teasing me? The system that announced your female demon slave, the White Bone Lady, is longing for you passionately, connecting to the scene now. As soon as the message ended, the White Bone Lady appeared in the star-picking tower, dancing around a pole. Her eyes were full of affection as she looked at Liu Nian and called out, My king? Come watch me dance. Why hasn't Lord Liu Nian come to cultivate with me yet? The system also announced the end of the broadcast. After watching, Liu Nian thought to himself, That Wugong Jing I caught last time still isn't fully under control. This time is perfect to test out the new skill from the Eye of Desire, the Hand of Desire. He recalled the angry expression on the white-eyed demon lord's face and gave a sly and wicked grin. If I combine my Hand of Desire with Wugong Jing's 100-limbed Death Fist, I wonder how powerful it would be. Liu Nian imagined using the 100 arms of Lust to toy with Liu Nian and let out a lewd laugh. Liu Nian, let me show you my new skill. At that moment, on the first level of Tai Fi Mountain, while walking along the road, a fire hydrant suddenly burst open. From it emerged a beautiful girl with white hair. She was the brave lady of Earth, a high-level demon of peep power, a golden-nosed, white-furred rat spirit, a character from the classic novel Journey to the West. Because she once stole and ate the floral fragrance treasure of the Tathagata on Spirit Mountain, She was renamed Half-Lotus Guanyin and sent down to the mortal realm to live as a demon queen, now known as the Brave Lady of Earth. She smiled and said, I heard that most of the immortals above the level of true immortal have already left. What a perfect time for me to sneak out and steal something. Just then, a drunk young man walked by. It was Yin Tao, a level 30 warrior. Seeing her, he grinned and teasingly said, Hey, sweetheart, how about having some fun with me? Brave Lady of Earth gave a gentle smile and stepped forward, placing her hand on his shoulder. All right, handsome, let's go into that alley and talk in detail about the software hardening process. Hearing that, Yin Tao was overjoyed. Great, let's go. The two of them walked into the narrow alley together. Rubbing his hands eagerly, Yin Tao's face took on a sleazy expression. Beautiful lady, you look stunning. I really want to be with you. Brave Lady of Earth looked at him with sultry eyes. Her blood-red nails grew longer as she moved closer and spoke sweetly. You're very attractive, too handsome. On the other side, Yin Tao, completely unaware, leaned in closer. Sweetheart, I really want to be with you too. As he spoke, Brave Lady of Earth's eyes suddenly changed. A savage smile spread across her face. And what happened next? Well, everyone can imagine. A blood-curdling scream echoed through the alley. Yin Tao didn't even need to think. He knew the ending was brutal. He ended up as a delicious meal. Brave Lady of Earth walked away, licking her lips hungrily. She thought to herself, I've heard that someone with a natural dual cultivation holy body is hiding in Tai Flame Mountain. He must be incredibly tempting. Meanwhile, Liu Nian was in the star-picking tower, sharing porridge and some flirtation with Lady Whitebone, calculating in his mind, the star-picking tower has already captured 5 demons. We finally unlocked the chamber. From now on, we won't need to train out in the square anymore. Suddenly, the door opened and Xiao Zhu spoke up. Master, please come this way. In the corridor, only Xiao Zhu and the white-eyed demon lord were being held captive. The moment the hundred-eyed demon lord saw Liu Nian, he flew into a rage and shouted, You disgusting man, you ruined my divine power? I swear I'll skin you alive and tear you to pieces. The parasite raised its head and slapped the hundred-eyed demon lord across the face. How dare you insult my master? Do you have a death wish? The hundred-eyed demon lord wasn't about to back down. She spat at her attacker. You call yourself a great demon, yet you serve these pathetic humans. You're nothing but a traitorous beast. Just then, Liu Nian stepped into the hallway. As soon as he entered, he activated his golden flame eyes, specifically the Eye of Desire on the hundred-eyed demon lord. Instantly, he saw her deepest preferences. She liked to be kissed, loved being complimented on her looks, and her weakness was having the power of primordial chaos poured into her core. Liu Nian smirked slyly, thinking to himself, the Eye of Desire is more useful than I thought. I've really underestimated it. He walked up and grabbed the hundred-eyed demon lord by the chin. She scowled furious. What do you think you're doing? Without answering, Liu Nian leaned in and kissed her forcefully. Xiao Zhu, who was standing nearby, closed her eyes tightly. She could only hear the suggestive sounds echoing around her. The hundred-eyed demon lord was so overwhelmed by the kiss that her head spun, her face turned crimson, and she even had a nosebleed. Struggling to stay conscious, she thought, I can't breathe. I'm going to pass out. A system alert appeared. Her obedience level had jumped from 5% to 20%. Then she fainted. Seeing this, Liu Nian lit up with excitement. Xiao Zhu, take her to my room. I'm going to use her to cultivate tonight. He thought to himself, so you're afraid of having primordial energy poured into your core. Well, tonight I'm going to fill it to the brim. Lady Whitebone and Princess 10,000 Saints saw what happened and exclaimed in unison, My king, we want that technique too. Even the parasite drooled with envy. I want it so badly, he cried. Liu Nian cracked his knuckles and put on a righteous air. I'm handling official business here. This Wu Gongjing has harmed others. Today, I'm making sure she gets what she deserves. He immediately walked over and grabbed the hundred-eyed demon lord by the hair. When she tormented humans, she should have known this day would come, but she still refused to admit it. Humans are a pathetic species. You've lost the ability to cultivate on your own and become the lowest of all creatures. Liu Nian instantly lifted the binding spell with a cold snort and ordered her to be taken to my bedroom. Hearing this, Xiao Zhu obeyed without question and carried the hundred-eyed demon lord off, giving her a warning. Just behave yourself. But the hundred-eyed demon lord struggled furiously, still filled with rage. To the demon world, she was a disgrace. Xiao Zhu spoke up. Have you heard of the ancient human emperor? The hundred-eyed demon lord stopped struggling and asked in return. The ancient human emperor, someone as powerful as a sage? Seeing that she knew of the human emperor, Xiao Zhu continued. The person you just spoke with is the incarnation of the human emperor. The human race is about to rise again. Pledging loyalty to the king is fate. I serve the human emperor. The hundred-eyed demon lord couldn't believe what she was hearing. What? But she still didn't believe it. With a look of disdain, she spat on the ground and sneered. He's the human emperor, and you think the human race can rise again? Ever since Emperor Tan died, humanity's destiny has been completely lost. The so-called Son of Heaven is nothing more than heaven's lapdog now. The human race was abandoned long ago. Back then, Emperor Tan wrote love poems in Nua's palace. Nua herself didn't even dare lay a hand on him. But once the humans lost their destiny, what's the difference between them and animals? For over 1,000 years, you can count on one hand the number of people who've managed to cultivate on their own. Even a fox has a better chance of reaching enlightenment than a human does. In the hundred-eyed demon lord's mind, an image appeared of a weasel standing on 2 legs, asking, "Do I look more like a human or an immortal?" Xiao Ju pulled the hundred-eyed demon lord up and replied, "That's all in the past. Just focus on serving the king. There's already a precedent of a human emperor marrying someone from the demon clan and making her empress. This is the best path forward for our kind." On the other side, Liu Nian had also heard what the hundred-eyed demon lord said, and he couldn't help but fall into deep thought. Wu Gongjing wasn't wrong before the Battle of Deification. Our great Shang had countless outstanding talents like Grand Tutor Wen, Zhang Guifang, Zhang Kui, Gao Leining, Huang Fihu, Deng Sheu, and many others who practiced cultivation. Even the ancestors of Fang Qi. General Fang was only a gate guardian of the palace, yet he still managed to cultivate and become immortal. Quick note, a palace gate guardian is similar to the head of security at the emperor's office. In Liu Nian's heart, a question arose. Why is it that after the Battle of Deification, the number of people who could cultivate and ascend became so rare? All of this must be connected to the fate and spiritual energy of the human race. Suddenly, Lady Whitebone knelt at his feet, interrupting his thoughts. "My king, there's no need to worry. You are the reincarnation of the human emperor. As long as you ascend and become immortal, a portion of humanity's spiritual destiny can be restored. You'll also be protected by the ancient human emperors." Liu Nian nodded in understanding. "So that's how it is. Then I'll hurry and reach level 100 so I can enter the immortal trials." Lady Whitebone gently held Liu Nian's shoulders and said, "But it's not that simple. This game only lets people in. It doesn't let them out. It's full of bugs and loopholes, and all kinds of demons have slipped in. That shows the immortals never had good intentions from the start." Hearing that, Liu Nian asked with suspicion, could it be because Shen Gongbao left the game? Lady Whitebone sat on top of Liu Nian and kissed his neck, then said, "How could Shen Gongbao possibly have that kind of power? He's just a scapegoat. Those immortals don't want to get their hands dirty or be involved in bloodshed and grudges like that." Liu Nian suddenly understood. It all made sense now. She leaned in close and whispered in his ear, "The real issue is that anyone who enters the small world of Fengshen ends up dead. Only a few descendants of powerful immortals with deep backgrounds can actually succeed in cultivating. Most people die and are turned into heavenly soldiers, used as cannon fodder in Heaven's crusade. I also heard Shen Gongbao mention that in the final trial, a Delu Golden Immortal will use a magical mirror to reveal each participant's past lives of bloodline. If they find out you're the reincarnation of the human emperor, they'll execute you on the spot." Hearing that, Liu Nian turned pale with fear, like his soul had flown out of his body. Grabbing Lady Whitebone by the shoulders, he asked, "Then, my love, can you tell me what I should do next?" Lady Whitebone smiled and said, "My king, you have an incredibly rare gift for cultivation. If you can build a relationship with 2 female immortals from prominent backgrounds and take a special path to immortality, then maybe." Liu Nian was speechless. His face twitched as he said, "Immortality? Are you trying to use me as bait?" Lady Whitebone gave a calm smile and poked him lightly in the chest with her finger. "Great king, those who achieve great things don't worry about the little stuff. The fate of humanity is in your hands now." Liu Nian pushed her aside. "All right, I get it." Then he turned and walked away, but in his heart, he couldn't stop thinking about what had just happened. So frustrating. Is seducing immortal women really the only way I can survive? But if Lady Whitebone is right, then what about my father and younger brother? What will happen to them? After a while, Liu Nian stepped into his cultivation chamber. There, the hundred-eyed demon lord had already been sealed by Xiao Ju using an array formation and celestial binding ropes. Upon seeing Liu Nian, she let out a furious roar. "Liu Nian, you shattered my core cultivation technique, caused my spiritual power to plummet into the abyss. From this day forth, we are mortal enemies." Liu Nian said nothing. He merely walked forward slowly. Behind him, 9 golden dragon heads emerged, spiraling around him like sentient spirits. They hissed and roared with overwhelming force, releasing terrifying mental pressure that surged toward the hundred-eyed demon lord. "Say it, master." One of the dragon heads growled. "Say, Great king. Still defiant, the hundred-eyed demon lord gritted her teeth. Get lost. Despicable human scum. I love your kind. Liu Nian stopped in his tracks and let out a cold smirk. I apologize for weakening your cultivation, but today I've come out to torment you, but to make amends. As he spoke, he extended a hand, lightly pressing on her dantian, the spiritual core sealed within her. From his fingertips, radiant energy bloomed, forming a primordial seal, which slowly seeped into the barrier, suppressing her powers. I shall transfer to you the remaining soul force of the dragon spirit to reawaken your cultivation meridians. At once, the 9 dragons soared upward, each unleashing a torrent of divine power, merging into the seal formation. The hundred-eyed demon lord trembled under the immense force being infused into her body. Her face turned pale as she cried out, "Stop! I can't endure this." Liu Nian's voice was calm, but firm. "This is your only chance to ascend to the next realm. Endure it." Golden light erupted in a blinding burst. Her body, locked within the formation's spiritual matrix, absorbed surge after surge of pure energy into her dantian, shaking the entire room to its core. Tears of helplessness streamed down her face. The once proud demon lord no longer wore the mask of arrogance. In that moment, she was nothing more than a fragile being, standing before the immense transformation of the great Tao. Seeing the hundred-eyed demon lord sobbing in despair, Liu Nian spoke with interest. "When humanity was falling apart, you monsters tortured and killed us. Did you ever show us any mercy?" "Liu Nian, I'm not a death mother. I won't kill you. I just want you to help me cultivate." As he finished speaking, he kissed her lips. Below them, the 9 dragons pierced through the sky. At that moment, at the launch site, an alert signaled that congestion levels had risen to 70%. The commander quickly gave the order. The original life forms were ready. Innocently, the original life forms chatted with one another. "Where are we going? Are we going to crash into a wall again?" The commander's voice came through. "Countdown initiated. Launch. 3, 2, 1. Success! I've discovered a new life planet. Compatibility levels are rising steadily." The hundred-eyed demon lord closed her eyes and moaned proudly. "It's so hot." Liu Nian, with a blank expression, said, "You think this is the end? That would be far too kind for what you did to those people." Then he activated the Human Wrath Manifesto. "Today, I'll write 10 justice strokes just to explain the character for justice has 5 strokes. 10 characters mean 50 strokes. What those strokes represent, well, we know." Liu Nian untied the hundred-eyed demon lord, letting her fall onto the bed, then walked over and grabbed her head, making her furious. "You damned human." But Liu Nian gave her another brutal lesson, leaving the hundred-eyed demon lord helpless and in tears. Again and again, her submission level kept going up. The system announced that the hundred-eyed demon lord's submission had reached 90%. Liu Nian looked at the result with pride. He hadn't expected his dual cultivation abilities to be enhanced to such an epic level. No matter how many times they did it, he can feel tired at all. Still, he felt like he was running low on ammo. Next time, he'd have to make every shot count. The hundred-eyed demon lord, tormented and trembling, widened her eyes in fear. "I won't dare harm humans ever again," she said. Liu Nian looked at her with a hint of regret. After all those cultivation sessions with him, her cultivation level hadn't gone up at all. Maybe it had something to do with her technique. Maybe it was flawed. He figured he should ask Madame Whitebone if she could help him switch her to a different cultivation method. As he spoke, he tapped the option for 100 strikes instant kill and instantly entered a meditative state, thinking about combining it with his hand of desire to see if they could be fused. A system message popped up. "Skill fusion successful. Please name your new skill." Liu Nian smirked with satisfaction. It worked. "All right, I'll call you Illusory Golden Touch. It means a phantom-like golden finger." He glanced at the hundred-eyed demon lord, then looked at his hand. He thought to himself, can't use it on her anymore. If I do, I'll end up killing her. Better try it on a different demon. Just then, outside in the hallway, Xiao Ju was already waiting. When she saw Liu Nian walk out, she gently said, "Please allow Xiao Ju to assist your majesty with your bath." Liu Nian thought to himself, she's been so devoted ever since she entered the Star Tower. Using her to test the new skill, I kind of feel bad about it. Liu Nian asked, "Chief Steward, where is Xiao Chao Nian?" Xiao Ju pouted and replied, "Still in the main hall." Hearing that, Liu Nian quickly left to find Xiao Chao Niang and said, "Your sister is now mine. I've conquered her. She's my woman now." Xiao Chao Niang didn't believe it. "That's impossible. My sister has never liked men." Liu Nian scratched his head and said, "That's because she practiced the pure Jade Maiden technique, and now she's drained of all her energy. But don't worry, I've already mastered a new move." Worried, Xiao Chao Niang asked, "What are you planning to do?" Liu Nian stepped closer and asked, "Do you know Tuk Kwaian Sek?" As soon as she heard it, Xiao Chaoniang realized, that's my sister's ultimate technique, isn't it? Just then, Liu Nian's eyes glowed red as he slowly approached. He unleashed the phantom golden palm and stripped off all her clothes. Scene shift to a bar. A trembling hand gripped a glass of alcohol tightly. A voice filled with anger muttered, "Disgusting." The source of his rage, he was reading news about Liu Nian on his phone. Every day people praised Liu, not admiring lovers or immortals, but Liu himself. This man was Zhang Dalai, a priest of the Spirit Guild and former lackey of the late Vice Guild leader, Hong Zhu. Reading the news, he slammed his glass down on the table and shouted, "Disgusting. Ever since the Vice Guild leader died, I've been completely sidelined. I can't get my hands on a single resource now." He remembered the insults from the other guild members, how they blamed him for the deputy leader's death, yet he still had the nerve to ask for resources. That's right. If it were me, I'd have left the guild a long time ago. Zhang Dalai was so angry he was grinding his teeth. He had worked like a dog for the squad leader just to climb the ranks, and in the end, he lost everything. Suddenly, Brave Lady of Earth walked over. "Hey there, are you feeling lonely?" Zhang Dalai couldn't help but have a nosebleed at the sight of her curvy figure. She leaned in closer and said seductively, "I'm feeling a little tipsy. Would you stay with me tonight?" Zhang Dalai smirked, "Of course." Then Brave Lady of Earth slowly traced her finger along her thigh, making Zhang Dalai's body react as if a tree had sprung up after a rainstorm. "Let's go somewhere else," she whispered. Hearing that, Zhang Dalai followed her without a second thought. Scene cuts to the next morning at the Tai Phi Mountain Patrol office. Zhang Dalai's image was quickly added to the list of recent missing persons. Liu Nian was also summoned by Miss Thap for a meeting. "Liu Nian, on behalf of the Tai Phi Mountain Patrol Unit, I'm officially inviting you to assist us in solving this case." Liu Nian was stunned. Solve a case? He silently cried inside. He had just left the star-picking tower when Miss Thap dragged him into the office. He thought she was going to flirt with him, but she was actually looking for help with a case. Lady Ten sat at her desk, slowly sliding her damaged foot up Liu Nian's thigh. She spoke calmly. "That's right. Recently, 13 people have died in the Tai Phi Mountain City. We suspect demons are behind it." Liu Nian glanced at the approaching foot and responded helplessly. "Isn't that the job of immortals like you? I'm just a rebel." Without hesitation, Lady Ten slipped her foot under Liu Nian's robe. Most of the true immortals had already gone to the 5th level to repair the cracks. "We're sure on people right now," Liu Nian said uncomfortably. "Then why are you coming to me?" By now, Lady Ten had caught hold of Liu Nian's lower half with her foot. She answered, still toying with him, "Because I heard you have the ability to detect demonic magic. All of our top immortals could do that have already gone to the 5th level." As her foot gripped him, Liu Nian trembled slightly, but still asked, "Why should I help you? If I get involved, I could get hurt." While continuing to tease him, Lady Ten kept her tone calm and steady. "Because of me, of course, and once you find the demon, I'll summon the managers who stay behind to form a killing formation. Even though our cultivation levels aren't that high, our battle formations are still incredibly powerful." As she spoke, her foot moved rhythmically, making Liu Nian moan with reluctant pleasure. Liu Nian said with difficulty, "I can't hold it much longer." No sooner had he spoken than a powerful surge of energy burst forth. Lady Ten stepped closer and asked, "You wouldn't want me to be punished for this, or worse, banished to the mortal realm, would you?" Liu Nian hesitated at her question, "But I really don't fully understand the power of the demon clans if I act rashly." Before he could finish, Lady Ten placed a gentle kiss on his lips, cutting him off. "I already paid the deposit, remember? Are you planning to go back on your word?" The kiss left Liu Nian flustered. "Deposit? When did you pay a deposit?" She raised a finger to her lips, signaling him to be quiet, then whispered, "Just help me this one time. If you refuse, I'll tell Little Pig that you already became his stepdad last time." Liu Nian was startled. Last time was just a misunderstanding, not something worth making a fuss about. But Lady Ten was firm. Even a fleeting moment still counted. "Why not just make it official now?" she added with a teasing smile. Hearing that, Liu Nian quickly stepped back. "Your safety comes first. Let's head to the scene and take a look." Lady Ten chuckled softly to herself. Got him. Before long, they arrived at the site where Zhang Dalai had met his end. A sensory chamber labeled Room 520. Liu Nian and Lady Ten pushed open the door and walked in. Inside, Zhang Dalai's body had withered, showing clear signs of being drained of all vitality. Liu Nian noticed a small hole in one of the pillars and asked, "Why is there a hole here?" Lady Ten imagined Zhang Dalai hugging the pillar while under some illusion and replied, "He must have been caught in a spell and thought the pillar was a beautiful woman." Liu Nian looked at the column momentarily speechless. He quickly activated his spiritual senses and began scanning the area. A strong, sharp smell hit his nose, making him frown. Lady 10, slightly embarrassed, said, I took a shower this morning, you know. Liu Nian followed the scent with such speed that Lady 10 was surprised that fast. She remarked as he pushed open the bathroom door and stepped inside. He picked up a strand of hair. Sniffing it carefully, Liu Nian declared, There's demon energy on this hair. Lady 10 rushed in for a look and asked doubtfully, Isn't this just animal fur? Liu Nian guessed it likely fell off where the demon was bathing. The energy imprint is still fresh. Upon hearing that, Lady 10's expression grew serious. Even those powerful immortals skilled in divine deduction had only reached the 5th level. Finding a single strand of fur might not be enough for now, but Liu Nian was full of confidence. You're underestimating me. I may not use divine deduction, but if I activate all 9 sensory channels, I'll track it for sure. With that, he began chanting and opened all 9 of his sensory channels. Immediately, the demon's energy trail became visible. He followed it down the hallway and toward the stairwell. The trail finally stopped at a sewer grate. Liu Nian said firmly, Found it. Upon closer inspection, he concluded the demon had escaped through the back exit. Liu Nian grew excited and took off in pursuit. Judging by the fur, the demon was likely a female trying to flee after sneaking into this place. Seeing Liu Nian's strength, 10 Lady was a little surprised. She thought to herself, this kid actually managed to open the 9 orifices. But why has he suddenly become so motivated? Whatever, I'll just follow him for now. The two of them quickly made their way to the inn's drainage system. As soon as they arrived, Liu Nian frowned and said, This place really stinks. To explain, Liu Nian's sense of smell had become unusually sensitive after opening the olfactory meridian, so the stench he picked up was dozens of times stronger than what most people would notice. He quickly spotted the demon aura spreading further inward. Tenlady also pieced things together. Based on the white hair they found, the path the demon took to escape, and the method it used to kill, she guessed that the monster might be none other than the former boss, the Brave Lady of Earth. Tenlady pulled out her phone and opened the Brave Lady of Earth's profile. Rat Spirit Matron, white whiskers on her nose, peak-level Grand Demon. Skill, Ancient Earth Arts. Can burrow 100 meters underground in 3 seconds. Cooldown time 30 minutes. Earth Claw, a single target attack that deals 300% of her own power in damage. When it hits, she can recover her vitality. After reading her info, Liu Nian was a bit skeptical. A regular attack from a peak-level Grand Demon definitely shouldn't be able to seriously hurt me right away. Even though the Earth Claw is powerful, it's a single target move that takes time to charge. If 10 Lady can just buy me a bit of time with her spider silk, I can trade my life for hers and take her down. Liu Nian had already made a plan in his mind. He was going to use the 9 Dragons Linked Demon technique to risk his life so he felt at ease. After all, he had the death immunity skill to keep himself alive. But his words caught 10 Lady off guard. She thought to herself, what is this fool talking about? That's a peak-level great demon, as he lost his mind. But she quickly dismissed that thought. No, that's not right. He's defeated great demons before. If he says this, he must be confident. Maybe it's because of a treasure from Zajda, the 3rd prince. With that in mind, 10 Lady agreed to help. If my little brother says so, then as the game's manager, there's no way I can back down. Let's go together. Liu Nian agreed. He thought to himself, Brave Lady of Earth has the ancient Earth technique. But if 10 Lady casts her web, it might delay her digging. Looks like Star Picking Tower is about to get another demiss. A moment later, the two of them quickly opened the sewer cover. Liu Nian was still dizzy from the smell below. Holding back his nausea, he activated his fiery golden eyes and immediately saw a massive castle behind the barrier, with 5 large characters carved into it. Waterfall Tower of King Lai of Heaven. Liu Nian asked, that demon is definitely inside the temple. Do you have a way to stop Brave Lady of Earth from using her ancient Earth technique? 10 Lady replied, I have a spider silk treasure. I can hold her off for a while. Hearing that, Liu Nian grinned. Then we're good. You stay outside and set up the trap. Wait for me. Still, 10 Lady looked a bit worried. She asked, but are you really going to be okay? That's a peak-level great demon. Maybe we should turn back. Liu Nian simply waved his hand and walked away. Watching his calm and confident figure disappear into the distance, 10 Lady couldn't help but feel moved. He's really strong. Maybe the little pig needs a father after all. Just as she said that, the little pig sneezed loudly on the other side. Who's talking behind my back? When Liu Nian reached the temple gate, he used the bone morph technique to transform into an animal. He was confident that the area was quiet, but since the sound of wings flapping was too loud, he figured it would be safer to turn into a flea. At that moment, a shadow loomed over him, covering his tiny body. He looked up and immediately got a nosebleed. It's the Brave Lady of Earth, but Liu Nian was so small that she didn't notice him and walked right past. Because of that, he saw everything, every secret detail with crystal clarity. He couldn't help but blurt out, "A giant flower." Right then, the brave lady of Earth sensed something and looked down. There seemed to be something on the ground. Yes, there really is someone down there, but it's just Liu Nian in flea form. He hid in a spot just outside the sightlines of the temple's sacred statues. "Don't see me. Please don't see me." After scanning the area and finding no one, the brave lady of Earth quickly left. Was I just imagining things? Liu Nian quickly hid between her legs, quietly following the footsteps of the brave lady of Earth. He let a relieved sigh. Thankfully, he hadn't been discovered. Just then, drops of sacred water landed on his head. He shook his body to fling the water off and muttered, "So salty. It's even saltier than Fang Qi." Right after, he hurried to catch up with the brave lady of Earth. After bathing, she lay down on the bed to relax. Liu Nian jumped up deep in thought. The brave lady of Earth was at the peak of her demonic power. If he fought her head-on, he might not stand a chance. The system also issued a warning. Mid-stage demon defense will last for another 10 hours. Seeing that, he made up his mind. Looks like the only option was to wear her down. First, don't let her rest too comfortably. After tossing and turning for a while, probably because of earlier exhaustion, she finally fell into a deep sleep. Liu Nian felt full of confidence and even sang a little tune to himself. "No one knows the power of fleas better than I do." Without hesitation, he leaped onto the brave lady of Earth. As he moved forward, Liu Nian couldn't help but be stunned by the landscape before him. Towering, layered peaks. From a distance, it looked like a ridgeline, but up close, the elevation changed with every step. This was the first time he'd seen it from this angle. But faced with such a view, Liu Nian had to put it aside and get to work. The brave lady of Earth immediately felt something. It was a little itchy. She reached out to scratch, but Liu Nian quickly dodged and silently gloated. Now this is agility. He leaped into a thick patch of grass and clung tightly to a blade, thinking to himself, "You think you can catch me? I'll show you what a true ninja can do." Then, with all of his strength, he charged forward like a lawnmower, tearing through the grass in a straight line as he chewed and pulled. Brave Lady of Earth were irritated, quickly scratching the spot everyone knows too well. It was unbearably itchy. She thought, "Did I not clean myself properly when I showered?" Seizing the moment, Liu Nian braced himself and thought now's the perfect time to claim the high ground. He sprang up with everything he had and landed on the hilltop. Reaching the peak filled him with immense pride. Still feeling itchy, Brave Lady of Earth began to suspect, could it be the bed? Maybe there are fleas, but I already purified everything with spiritual energy. Forget it. I'll just wash up again. She went to take another shower. Liu Nian, struggling just as much, was nearly swept away by the water, but managed to hang on tightly to a patch of grass. Once again, Brave Lady of Earth used her spiritual energy to cleanse herself thoroughly. Fresh and fragrant, she took a deep breath, enjoying the scent on her skin. She thought, "I smell amazing. I should finally be able to get a good night's sleep." Hearing that, Liu Nian's eyes turned cold. He thought, "A peaceful night's sleep? Dream on. There's no way I'm letting you rest easy tonight." After Brave Lady of Earth fell into a deep sleep, Liu Nian jumped onto her thigh and stabbed into it, making her scream in pain. Now furious, Brave Lady of Earth started the whole routine again, another bath, another round of cleansing. And just like that, it kept repeating, bathing, sleeping, in an endless loop. By the 13th bath, the Brave Lady of Earth couldn't hold back her confusion any longer. "I already shaved my skin clean," she muttered. "Why can't I seem to get clean no matter how much I bathe?" Hearing that, Liu Nian smirked slyly. The moment was getting close. He just needed her to fall deeply asleep one more time, then he'd make his move. Outside the temple of Lai Heavenly King, Ten Lady anxiously waited for Liu Nian. He still hadn't come out, and a wave of unease rose in her chest. Could something have happened to that kid? She whispered to herself, then stood up, clenching her fist in frustration. It's all my fault for trusting his words. If I hadn't been so eager to take all the credit for defeating the Brave Lady of Earth and rush to report to headquarters, he wouldn't have had to take this risk. Inside the temple, Liu Nian crouched on a beam, watching the Brave Lady of Earth sleeping soundly below. Looking at her beautiful face and stunning figure, he couldn't help but sigh. A seductress this gorgeous must have led countless people to ruin. I have to take her back to the star-picking tower and teach her a lesson, make her serve the good of mankind. He summoned his dragon phoenix sword, transformed back into human form, and charged forward, aiming directly at the Brave Lady of Earth. But just as he got close, a celestial barrier flared up around her, blinding him with its radiant light. What the? How's that possible? Liu Nian quickly scanned the room and spotted the sacred idol of Lai Heavenly King standing upright at the altar. It was releasing divine energy, blocking him from getting any closer. Seeing this, he grew furious. Well, Li Ji, How dare you shelter a demon right here in the middle of the official road? No wonder that Rat Demon felt so safe lounging around here without a care in the world. The loud noise woke up the brave Lady of Earth. Who's there? When she saw Liu Nian standing in front of her, looking around, a smug smile spread across her face. All this time, I've been searching for you without success, and now here you are, walking right into my hands. She quickly got out of bed and walked toward him. I heard you were born with a dual cultivation holy body before you died. Mind letting me enjoy it for a bit? Most of the people I've killed didn't get that kind of treatment. Realizing how bad the situation was, Liu Nian turned to run. But the brave Lady of Earth wasn't about to let him go that easily. With a wave of her hand, she sneered. Food delivered straight to the door wants to run? Do you even know where you are? In an instant, a divine barrier formed, sealing off the door. Liu Nian threw himself against it with all his strength. I'm done for, he thought. The plan was if the assassination failed, I'd lure her outside the temple and join forces with Madame Chu to take her down. I calculated everything, except that Li Ji would dare to use divine power to unseal a demon. He clenched his teeth. Looks like I really haven't read Journey to the West enough. Outside, Madame Chu noticed Liu Nian was taking too long and called for backup. But just then, a sudden surge of power hit, stunning her so hard she dropped her phone. The person on the other end of the line overheard part of the conversation and couldn't hide their surprise. What? How could that happen? The seal at the Temple of the Lai Heavenly King has already been activated. Even with all the supervisors we've sent, we still can't break the seal to save Liu Nian. Lady Ten collapsed angrily onto the ground. This is infuriating. The Lai Heavenly Tower actually dared to use divine power to unseal demons. I'm going straight to the Patriarch and the Purification Altar Envoy to make him pay for this. Just a note, the Purification Altar Envoy here refers to Zhu Baji. Inside the temple, the brave Lady of Earth slowly approached. With a flick of her hand, she said, Let's fight somewhere else. Don't destroy my Godfather's temple. Immediately, a bottomless pit opened beneath Liu Nian's feet. A huge hole appeared under him, and he was sucked into it. When he landed, Liu Nian couldn't help but be surprised. The brave Lady of Earth walked up to him and smiled. Welcome to my underground lair. Startled, Liu Nian turned to look at her, thinking to himself, There's no escape this time. Dan you Lei Ji. If I make it out of here alive, I swear I'll destroy your precious tower and let Naja teach you a lesson. Quick-witted, he tried to play the familiarity card. Don't kill me, we're practically family. But to his surprise, the brave Lady of Earth had already seen through him. She responded coldly. You being the little brother of my godbrother Naja, just a house servant. Then she gave a mocking smile. Besides, you really think ordinary mortals like you can enter the investiture of the gods game and make it out of this cultivation world alive? Hearing that, Liu Nian's face darkened. He was shocked deep down. So this demon mouse does know something about what's really going on, just as the white bone lady had guessed. But things weren't that simple. This game only lets you enter. There's no way out. It's full of glitches and buffs, and all kinds of demons have snuck in. That alone proves the immortals never had good intentions from the start. Realizing this, Liu Nian felt a rising sense of danger. The words of the white bone lady still echoed in his mind. This small cultivation world was never meant to let mortals like us leave alive. I suspect most people who enter this sealed world of deification will die. Only a few with strong immortal bloodlines might succeed in their cultivation. The rest will perish, becoming heavenly soldiers, disposable pawns for the celestial court's future conquest. He immediately drew his sword, eyes alert as he faced the brave Lady of Earth. If you won't even show respect for my big brother Naja, then there's nothing left to say. Let's fight. The brave Lady of Earth laughed loudly, raising her claws. Killing you. My adopted brother won't care. You're just a mortal doomed to die. With that, they charged at each other, locked in battle with no clear winner. The brave Lady of Earth looked surprised. She grinned and said, A mortal, and yet you can block my attacks? On Liu Nian's side, he was a little worried and thought to himself, barely holding on. The strength of a peak stage great demon really is overwhelming. Then the system notified him, mid-stage great demon's defense time remaining 4 hours. Brave Lady of Earth quickly returned to a battle-ready stance. Just now, she had only used 50% of her power, but now her eyes burned with killing intent. She had held back because she still wanted to dual cultivate with him, but now she had changed her mind. Without another word, she lashed out with her claws at Liu Nian. The system triggered, blocking a critical hit, and his substitute was instantly destroyed. Seeing this, Liu Nian shouted, Wait, if you kill me now, the meat won't taste as good anymore. Besides, you're already a peak-level great demon. If you dual cultivate with me, I guarantee you'll be able to break through and become a demon king. Those words clearly moved brave Lady of Earth. Liu Nian quietly calculated, I've really been tricked badly by Li Ji this time. These so-called immortals let their demons run wild, completely ignoring the lives of humans. If I fight her head-on, no matter how many lives I have, I'll never be her match. I have to outsmart her. At that moment, brave Lady of Earth suddenly realized, you're still alive. Could it be that you have some kind of life-saving treasure? A wave of emotion rose in her heart. It seems my foster brother, Naja, really did give him something valuable. Earlier, she wanted to kill him because he showed some strength and she didn't want to take any chances. But if the third prince, Naja, truly values him, then if she kills him recklessly, will the prince let her go? Brave Lady of Earth fell deep into thought. But that guy has always looked down on us demons. If it weren't for our foster father protecting me, I would have been wiped out by the third prince, Naja, a long time ago. So, should I kill him or not? Liu Nian walked up to the brave Lady of Earth and asked, what do you think? It would really be a shame to kill me. How about we call a truce? If I help you break through and become a demon queen, you let it go just this once. The brave Lady of Earth quickly shot back, that all sounds nice, but what if I lose focus during our dual cultivation and you suddenly attack me? Liu Nian got annoyed and defended himself. How could I possibly do something like that? Do you really think I'm that low? Deep down, he was cursing. This old rat spirit is actually pretty clever. The brave Lady of Earth responded with disdain. I've seen plenty of your kind online. Sleazy guys using dirty tricks, like taking a girl's umbrella while she's all excited. You really think I'm that easy to fool? Liu Nian had no choice but to offer up his storage ring as a condition. I'll give you my storage ring, and I'll even let you tie up my hands. That way you can feel safe, right? But you have to swear on your cultivation heart that you won't hurt me during the process. Hearing that, the brave Lady of Earth started calculating. Tying up both hands is actually a smart idea. Once I become a demon queen, I'll eat him, then find a quiet place to hide away. The thought of this made her happy, and she quickly replied, hands and feet, both tied to the bed. Liu Nian agreed without hesitation. Okay, deal, the brave Lady of Earth said as she made the vow. She clasped her hands together and declared, I, brave Lady of Earth, swear upon my heart and the heavens that I will not harm Liu Nian in any way during our dual cultivation. From behind, Liu Nian activated his flaming eye of the golden star, triggering the desire eye to observe the opponent's true strength. The system immediately displayed information. Brave Lady of Earth, accumulation shallow in 9 places, deep in 1. Weakness, instability at the Danshan. Liu Nian pondered silently, noticing that her meridians were somewhat chaotic, a sign vulnerable to exploitation. Soon after, he was restrained on the bed by her spiritual energy. Despite being bound, Liu Nian calmly calculated in his mind. She has sworn by her Tao heart, she likely won't kill me in the short term. Moreover, she doesn't know I can shrink my form. If things go awry, I still have an escape route. A brave Lady of Earth approached, her eyes gleaming with excitement. She spoke with firm resolve. If I cannot break through to become a demon king this time, you will pay the price with the purest spiritual energy in your body. I will absorb it bit by bit, step by step, until I achieve my goal. With that, she slowly placed her hand on Liu Nian's Danshan, transmitting a special kind of magic power. A faint mystical aura spread throughout the room. Prepare yourself, mortal. I want to see how long you can withstand this. Liu Nian immediately summoned the Dragon Soul. 9 golden dragon heads appeared, circling him like living entities. Each exhaled a powerful divine force that flowed into his body, creating a protective barrier that pushed back against the brave Lady of Earth's magic. She hesitated, her face flushing slightly as she felt the overwhelming pressure from the Dragon Soul. I never expected him to possess a twin cultivation saint body. This vital energy, shaking me to my core. Seeing her expression clearly, Liu Nian sensed his opportunity had come. Though his spiritual energy was significantly drained, he smiled triumphantly. A counterattack imbued with pure dragon essence instantly triggered the internal formation within her. The brave Lady of Earth's entire body trembled, her eyes wide with shock, her thoughts in turmoil. Impossible! His demonic power is stronger than I imagined. If this continues, my cultivation realm might change. If I hadn't evolved into the 9 dragons form and gained the lustful eye skill, which let me see her weakness, I probably would have died right here. Liu Nian looked at the brave Lady of Earth, her body overwhelmed by desire, and thought to himself, her weak spot is the Danshan. Hit it directly. Without hesitation, he commanded 2 dragons to activate the human emperor dragon technique. The twin dragons struck straight at her Danshan. In an instant, the brave Lady of Earth felt a powerful shock run through her body, leaving her completely limp. Seeing this, Liu Nian made up his mind. He had to drain the spiritual energy from her brain completely. Then he maneuvered one of the 9 dragons to sneak around and wrap tightly around the brave Lady of Earth's neck. Liu Nian smiled inwardly, thinking it worked. He pulled her away with all of his strength. The brave Lady of Earth let out a pained groan. her eyes burning with tears. Liu Nian didn't let his guard down. He kept up the attack from below and sent the remaining 4 dragons to unleash flames into her body, forcing her into total submission. The system immediately announced, "Target's HP has dropped to 0. At that moment, the restraints vanished. Liu Nian let out a sigh of relief. Finally, Brave Lady of Earth is dead. The system updated again, announcing that the restraints had been removed. Liu Nian had slain the high-level demon boss, the golden-nosed, white-furred rat spirit, and leveled up to 40. He could now unlock the Hewn Emperor's Jade Seal reward and had received rare materials, 10 golden hairs from the rat spirit, and a demon core artifact called Fragrant Bamboo Blossom. The Fragrant Bamboo Blossom is a ceremonial candle used when the Buddha chants sutras. It enhances one's chances of enlightenment when cultivating techniques. Liu Nian gratefully accepted the demon core, quickly got dressed again, and smiled at his good haul. The Brave Lady of Earth had been a top-tier demon. If he helped her break through to the Demon King level, she and Lady Whitebone could use massage techniques to help him gain early-stage Demon King level defense. Liu Nian quickly put his spatial ring back on and left. The scene shifts to a border somewhere in the southern region of the Heavenly Realm. This area is guarded by the pagoda-wielding Heavenly King Lai, an early-stage Daolu Golden Immortal. Something had just happened to the Brave Lady of Earth. Immediately, he felt a deep worry in his heart. A ripple of divine power left behind in the sealed realm of the Fengshen Gang had stirred. He took out her life record, and as he feared, something was indeed wrong. He gripped the Brave Lady of Earth's life record tightly, thinking to himself, "I told her not to go into the small world of the Fengshen Gang. Which immortal dared to strike her down? Let's pause to explain something. Not all immortals are skilled in divination, and even those who are can be thrown off by interference. Previously, Xiao Tong Tia had helped Liu Li conceal the heavenly secrets. Because of that, King Lai had no way of knowing what had happened. Just then, a celestial soldier rushed in to reporting to the pagoda-wielding Heavenly King Lai. Troops from the southern Bamboo Immortal Domain are gathering at the border. It looks like they're about to invade." Upon hearing this, King Lai was furious. How dare these lowly ones act so rashly? At once, the war drums sounded and celestial soldiers and generals gathered. He gave the command, "Anyone who crosses into the divine territory of Daxia, kill him." The army behind him roared in unison, "Anyone who crosses into the divine territory of Daxia, kill." The generals shouted, "Kill." The force of their voices was so overwhelming that the Southern Bamboo troops were caught off guard. General Jianel of Southern Bamboo, an early-stage Daolu Golden Immortal and the Thunder King, watched instead with admiration. No wonder the divine territory of Daxia has such a powerful reputation. Its background runs deep, and the number of Daolu Golden Immortals is astonishing. Each of our other 4 great divine territories, there's only one sage watching over things. But Daxia, they got at least 6 or more. Can the spiritual energy of this primeval world handle the birth of a new sage? Thunder King Jiannes spoke up, recounting the latest events. He said that the 2 sages, Zeus and Odin, had already sent out expedition teams to search for new territory. Originally, they planned to do the same. As he spoke, he couldn't help but look disheartened, recalling the scene of their battleship exploding. The ship had been made from the best parts imported from the divine realms, so how did it not become the strongest warship, but instead end up in ruins? With deep respect, Thunder King Jiannes said, "King Lai, don't misunderstand. We didn't come here to start a war with the Grand Xia divine realm." King Lai frowned and asked, "Then why are you here?" Jiannes immediately pointed upward, putting King Lai on alert. With a smug smile, he said, "Because of her." As soon as he spoke, a stunning woman dressed in the style of the Southern Territory appeared. She was the saintess of Southern Bamboo, full of elegance and power. She had barely danced a few traditional Southern Bamboo steps, yet all the soldiers nearby were already captivated, as if under a spell. Seeing this, Lai Ji shouted angrily, "Wicked woman, how dare you?" Then she launched an attack. Jia now quickly pulled out a magical treasure, Manhang Law, to block the strike. This artifact could withstand a blow from a mid-stage Great Golden Immortal, and its cooldown time hadn't even reached an hour. Jia now quickly explained, "Please, Heavenly King Lai, don't be angry. This woman is the reincarnation of the Southern Bamboo Saintess. She's just a mortal. I believe that, as a Great Golden Immortal, you should make things difficult for an ordinary woman." When Lai Ji heard this, she grew cautious. She had assumed this woman was hiding her cultivation level. She never expected a mere mortal could charm the heavenly balance. Jianna didn't waste time and got straight to the point. "I heard your divine realm is opening a small cultivation game world for mortals. Honestly, we're quite envious. Our Southern Bamboo divine realm would love to have something like that too. But maintaining a small secret realm like that takes a saint in seclusion constantly channeling spiritual power to keep it running. We only have one saint-level immortal. If he were to go into seclusion, our entire realm would be at risk. Li Ji raised an eyebrow. So what? Jia now replied respectfully. So I humbly ask that you pass a request to the Jade Emperor. Please allow the reincarnated saintess of the Southern Bamboo Divine Realm to enter your Great Sia's secret realm to study and learn. Li Ji snorted coldly. Great Sia may be full of talented people, and we're not afraid of outsiders, but we're not in the business of training talent for others either. Hearing that, Jia gritted her teeth. Great Sia is vast and blessed with both natural and spiritual resources. A nation of 10,000 immortals, yet you turn away someone from beyond your borders so easily, I'm afraid that might damage the reputation of such a grand realm. Li Ji was furious when he heard those words. He raised his voice. Enough talking. The resources of the Great Sia Divine Realm are for the people of Great Sia only. Jiano wasn't backing down. He shot back. So the Great Sia Divine Realm refuses to let outsiders in. Is there some secret you're hiding? Don't forget the sacred pact of no expansion. Has Great Sia secretly started experimenting with mass ascension to sainthood? Here's a bit of context. To maintain the current power balance and prevent the spiritual energy of the Wildlands continent from being depleted too quickly, the major divine realms signed a pact to limit the cultivation of new saints. Li Ji reacted like he'd been struck on a nerve. Gripping his spear tightly, he snapped. Great Sia has always kept its promises, but you divine realms are the ones who constantly break your word. In the morning, you sign non-aggression pacts with the smaller realms, but by evening, you send troops to take them over. Then you try to cover it up by claiming you're part of some demonization experiment. Jivanat, just as enraged, gritted his teeth and shouted, King Li, stop slandering us. Just because Great Sia has many saints doesn't mean you can do whatever you want. If all the major divine realms join forces to attack Great Sia, not even your army of saints could be everywhere at once. The 5 major divine realms include the Great Sia Divine Realm, the Odin Divine Realm, the Greek Divine Realm, the Southern Bamboo Divine Realm, and the Saintic Divine Realm. Jiana challenged them, saying, besides, the entrance to the Demon Realm is being suppressed beneath the Great Sad Divine Region. If we reconnect with the Demon Realm, Li Ji snapped, his voice sharp. Don't you dare. Just then, a flash of light shot over from behind. It was none other than the third prince, Naja. Without a word, he charged past Li Ji and drove his spear straight into Jianna, who immediately coughed up blood and collapsed from the blow. Even Li Ji was caught off guard. He scolded silently to himself. This rebellious brat has gotten even stronger. As for their father-son relationship, in a word, terrible. Naja was always causing trouble, and at one point, Li Ji was so fed up that he destroyed Naja's temple after it was built. That was the start of their feud. After dealing with Jianna, Naja scoffed arrogantly, why waste words on you? One spear and it's over, right? Jianna crashed to the ground, struggling to get back up. The Great Sia Divine Region bullies people too much, he grumbled. Seeing this, Naja immediately summoned his universe ring to finish him off. Still not dead. Just as Naja was about to strike, a voice rang out, Third Prince, stop! The visitor was none other than Teibai Jinxing, a great golden immortal at the peak of the Dalu level. He gently advised, Third Prince, show some mercy. You were the one who tricked Sun Wukong into going to heaven and becoming a stable master. But it was already too late. Jianna had gone off to sell salt. Teibai sighed in frustration, I'm still a step behind. Just look at what they've done to someone else's child. Li Ji immediately stepped forward and bowed. Greetings, Teibai Jinxing. It was my failure as a teacher that led to this. Before Li Ji could finish, Zavaja turned to look at him. Teibai walked over to where Jianna was. The two kids had just been playing, but as adults, we have to take responsibility. With that, he revived Jianna. With good intentions, Teibai offered a warning. Remember, trouble often starts with careless words. You won't be this lucky next time. Jianna was deeply grateful. Thank you, Teibai Jinxing, for saving me. I spoke recklessly just now. Teibai replied, it's all right. As for the Jade Emperor's decree, mortals with extraordinary talents, especially chosen women, may enter the secret realm of the Fengshen game. The rest must wait. So be it. Everyone responded in unison. We accept the decree. Naja, thinking about Liu Nian surrounded by beautiful women, laughed. Looks like the Jade Emperor has finished grooming his 18 spies. Is he planning to make Liu Nian their cultivation partner? Just as Liu Nian finished speaking, he sneezed. Who's talking about me right now? He muttered. Inside, Lai Heavenly King was full of doubt. Why would the Jade Emperor give such an order? Wouldn't that reveal the secret about the forbidden zone in our game? He stared straight ahead, lost in thought, not realizing that Zhandi was standing right in front of him. Naja couldn't help but misunderstand. Seeing the dreamy look on his father's face, he found it amusing. Looks like he doesn't know about Liu Nian, yet he thought while making his own calculations. The Jade Emperor and the Grand White Golden Star were indeed sharp. They must have already discovered Liu Nian's innate dual cultivation sacred body in the Ming world. Those proud beauties, who in the eyes of mortals seemed untouchable, turned into helpless victims the moment they entered the game. Thinking about this, Naja couldn't help but smile. Brother Liu Nian, I hope you'll wholeheartedly pass on the values of the great Xia divine realm to them and turn them into true women of our realm. The scene shifted to the mini-world in front of the Lai Heavenly King Temple. Liu Nian had just come outside. As soon as she saw him, Lady Ten quickly ran over and asked, "Are you okay? Where's the brave Lady of Earth?" Liu Nian gave a wry smile. "I forced her to death." Lady Ten was stunned. Liu Nian killed the brave Lady of Earth. She was a top-level demon, and she could even channel the divine power of the Lai Heavenly King's pagoda. Suddenly, Ten Lady noticed Liu Nian's leg and spoke with concern. "Liu Nian, why is your leg so swollen?" Liu Nian looked confused and asked, "Swollen? Which leg is swollen?" When he looked down, he was shocked. His leg was badly swollen and had turned a purplish blue, like it had been strangled. Oh no, he was really swollen. It must have been from earlier, during the fight with the brave Lady of Earth. The primal energy hadn't fully been released. Hearing this, Ten Lady quickly sat down and said, "Don't worry. Let me help draw out the primal energy for you. You'll be fine." Liu Nian felt awkward. That's really embarrassing. But Ten Lady calmly got to work. As she did, Liu Nian felt a wave of relief wash over him, sending chills through his body. When she finished, Ten Lady looked satisfied. She had drawn out all the primal energy and the poison. Liu Nian was startled. Poison? There was poison too. Ten Lady guessed, looks like the fight with the brave Lady of Earth wasn't just a normal match. She leaned in closer to Liu Nian. She must have applied poison to her body. If I hadn't drawn it out just now, in another hour it would have spread through your system, destroyed your immune system, and caused your entire body to break down. Hearing this, Liu Nian realized the truth. So that's it. The brave Lady of Earth swore she wouldn't lay a hand on me, but instead, she poisoned herself. Ten Lady smiled and said, "This poison is actually a great tonic for me. I'm going to channel my energy to absorb the power of the primal force and the poison I just swallowed. You guard me while I do that." Liu Nian agreed, "All right." With that, Ten Lady quickly sat down to cultivate. She absorbed all the primal force energy within her body. Once she finished, she immediately broke through to the next stage. Even she was a bit surprised by this. At that moment, Ten Lady had already reached the peak of the mystic immortal stage and stepped into the early stage of the true immortal realm. But Liu Nian had another question. Why is it that Fang Qi and the others absorbed my primal force energy but couldn't level up right away? Ten Lady explained, because they haven't become mystic immortals yet. Their meridians are still closed, so they can't fully absorb the laws within the primal force energy. She paused for a moment, then continued, right now they can only level up by fighting monsters and absorbing spiritual energy to gradually refine their meridians. Once they become mystic immortals, the meridians will open on their own. But you, how were you able to open your meridians and even gain a special ability? Ten Lady couldn't hide her curiosity. At the mortal stage, opening the meridians usually requires someone who has reached the Tao to spend 1,000 years worth of cultivation to forcibly help you forge them. Who helped you? A normal person couldn't possibly do that. Liu Nian scratched his head shyly and replied, "Of course it was Big Brother Naja who helped me." Ten Lady looked a bit surprised. "Naja, the third prince, is helping you with your training?" A strange image popped into Liu Nian's mind. Worried that Ten Lady might misunderstand, he quickly explained, No, it's not like that. He asked the Great Spirit God to help me with the training." Then he silently added in his heart, "Great Spirit God, I'm sorry. I have to trouble you for a bit." Ten Lady nodded and said, "Seems like Naja, the third prince, really values you and sees you as someone worth mentoring. Hold on, I'll craft a treasure for you." She took off her robe, revealing her belly button. From it, strands like spider silk shot out. In just a short moment, she had created a magical protective item. A sock-like treasure. While it looked like a sock, well, we can guess which foot it's meant for. She handed it to Liu Nian and instructed, "Next time you face a demoness in battle, make sure to wear this sock. It can adjust its size and thickness however you want without affecting how it feels. More importantly, it protects against poison and even cleans itself automatically." Liu Nian was grateful and thanked her. He quickly stored it in his storage ring. Seeing this, Ten Lady frowned and asked, "Why are you putting it away already? Aren't you going to try it on to see if it fits?" Liu Nian looked confused. "Try it on? How?" Without waiting for an answer, Ten Lady took his hand and led him to a tree. She leaned back against the trunk, looked at him with a teasing smile and said, obviously, like this. Oh, I've been a little constipated lately. Can you use your spirit flag dragon transformation skill to help me check things out? Liu Nian blushed. All right. Ten Lady said, first put the socks I knitted on Tu Lin Long. Liu Nian looked confused. How am I supposed to do that? He quickly put the socks on. Instantly, Tu Lin Long transformed into a lively little Santa Claus. It leaped onto its reindeer and charged ahead, full of energy. Ten Lady trembled all over. This was the first time she had ever seen this. As Liu Nian carried on, he thought to himself, as expected, this really is helping Ten Lady heal, and it's isolating the contamination too. From now on, we won't have to worry about whether this female demon's core is toxic or not. This magic item is amazing. The two of them stirred things up so much that the entire forest shook, startling even the birds. Scene shift. At the Tai-Fi Mountain Villa, Liu Ruyan was scrolling on her phone when she got a message from her husband. Have you taken care of your wife's issue yet? Master Shen is pushing again. These days, he's not holding back his words. Liu Ruyan replied, got it. She sat up thinking of herself. Why are so many girls into Liu Nian? Is it because he's got all those powerful cultivation tools? As she thought about it, Liu Ruyan pulled out the artifact Shen Gongbao had given her. A sly smile appeared on her face. Once I take away your cultivation tools, let's see how you plan to build your little harem then. A quick note. The reason Ducknut can't log into the game system is because if Liu Nian's cultivation tools are damaged by this artifact, he won't be able to reincarnate either. The scene shifts to Liu Nian. As he walks, he hears people all around him sighing and complaining. More and more people are dying. Just how many demons have snuck in? Someone nearby cries out in frustration. I don't want to die yet. Just then, a loud voice calls out, hurry to the square, an immortal has arrived. Hearing this, Liu Nian thinks to himself, which immortal could it be? Could it be Erlang Shen Yang Jian? I should go take a look too. He quickly squeezes through the crowd, trying to move forward. A man in front snaps to stop pushing. Then someone in the crowd recognizes the figure approaching and shouts, look, that's the Water Pavilion Immortal Division. Look, it's Gao Li Gai. Gao Li Gai stands with deep respect, waiting for the woman behind him. That woman is none other than May Lady. Instantly, everyone drops to their knees in reverence. Someone whispers in disbelief, I finally got to see May Lady. Just for this moment, my life is worth it. Liu Nian smiles. Turns out May Lady has quite a devoted following. Her influence to the moral world might even surpass Yang Jian's. At that moment, May Lady speaks gently. Everyone, please stand. I came today because there's something I need to tell you. The crowd eagerly responds. Whatever May Lady wants to say, we're all ears. A man nearby agrees. That's right. Everyone quiet down so we can hear May Lady clearly. May Lady continues without delay. By now, I believe you all understand. This isn't some game. This is a hidden realm for cultivating immortality. Ever since this fragment of the Wildlands appeared, the spiritual energy in this world has grown thinner and thinner. All three divine realms, heaven, earth, and humanity, have already begun to shut themselves off. Our immortals have gradually left the human world, and ever since, the mortal realm has entered an era of decline, known as the Age of the End of Dharma. Even though the divine realm has been sealed off, the spiritual energy will eventually run out. We need to find a way to explore beyond this world. At this point, she paused for a moment, then continued, however, over the past thousands of years, fewer and fewer people have been able to cultivate and become immortals. On top of that, many demon cultivators have turned into devils. We're stuck in a difficult situation. We simply don't have enough people. That's why Tenbai Jingxing and Yuanqi Tianzin proposed the creation of a small world, a sealed immortal cultivation realm, to test and select humans for the path of ascension. Hearing this, the crowd burst into excited cheers. So this isn't just a game, it's actually an immortal cultivation realm. Some people hugged each other in joy, shouting, we're going to become immortals. We'll live forever. But Liu Nian didn't see it that way. He looked at the cheering crowd and thought to himself, after reading Immortal's Journey to Immortality, I feel like cultivation is even more dangerous. How many of them will still be smiling in the end? Just then, Gao Li Gai shouted, quiet, let Lady finish speaking. The crowd immediately fell silent in fear. Ma Lady said, even though you have a chance to become immortals, the odds are only 1 in 10,000 or maybe even less. Hearing that, the group grew nervous. Only 1 in 10,000? Still, some people held on to hope. Even if the chances were slim, there was still a chance. Ma Lady went on, that's not all. Although the entrance to the demon realm, which our divine territory of Great Sia has sealed, hasn't opened yet, they've still found a way to sneak into the minigame world through some unknown methods. Since we're about to begin the Avatar Technique project to explore divine realms with higher spiritual energy, you'll be facing certain dangers. If you want to back out, please go to the game management hall and register within the next 3 days. We'll erase all your game data and escort you out after registration. This is your only chance to leave, but I still hope you'll stay and continue your training. After hearing that, everyone felt conflicted. A young woman asked, "What should we do? Should we leave?" The bald man next to her replied, "Didn't you hear what she said? My lady wants us to stay." Others chimed in, "Yes, if my lady wants us to stay, then staying must be the right choice. This is a rare chance to become immortals, after all." My lady took out a glowing pearl and said, "The Jade Emperor has granted me the soul-settling ore. Only those who continue their cultivation in this secret realm can reach level 50. Even if someone dies here, their soul will be absorbed by the orb and transferred to the Divine Board, where they'll be granted the title of Heavenly Soldier." Hearing this, everyone was overjoyed. Becoming a Heavenly Soldier doesn't sound bad at all. I've already reached level 30. It really did sound like a good deal. After all, everyone there was already close to level 50. No matter what happened, at the very least, they'd end up as Heavenly Soldiers. With that comforting thought, they all shouted in unison, "We won't leave. My lady, we're willing to stay and continue cultivating. I want to become immortal. I want to be one of the celestial beings too." As soon as those words were spoken, Liu Nian heard the sound of clapping behind him. He turned around and saw a familiar face. The man smiled and said, "No wonder the Jade Emperor sent my lady, the most respected person in the realm, to calm everyone down." But she did mention the terror of what it's like to be taken to the Divine Board. Seeing him, Liu Nian froze and thought to himself, "Xiao Tong Tian." He called out Emperor just now, but quickly corrected himself. "Liu Nian, congratulations on slaying another great demon," Xiao Tong Tian said. Liu Nian was stunned. "How did you hear about that so fast?" Without answering, Xiao Tong Tian grabbed his arm. "This isn't the place to talk. Let's go somewhere more private." After pulling Liu Nian into a quiet alley, Xiao Tong Tian said, "I could sense the aura of a great demon vanish from the temple of Lai Tianwang. After thinking it through, I figured out it was you." Liu Nian, full of doubt, asked, "Are you really the Grand Master of Tongshan sect?" Xiao Tong Tian nodded proudly. "Of course I'm the Grand Master of Tongshan sect." Liu Nian snorted, clearly unconvinced. "Then summon Lady Shiki to dual cultivate with me, and I'll believe you." Just to clarify, Lady Shiki is the disciple of the Grand Master of Tongshan sect. Hearing this, Xiao Tong Tian got angry and smacked Liu Nian on the head. "You empty-headed fool, all you ever think about is dual cultivation." But once he calmed down, he admitted to himself that Liu Nian had a point. Still, it wasn't really his fault. After all, he had learned this cultivation method from the Xuanyuan 3 demons and had been refined by them into a sacred body for dual cultivation, so it made sense he'd be obsessed with it. Liu Nian was a bit surprised and asked, "You even know about Daji?" Xiao Tong Tian replied confidently, "Of course. I used to be a saint." "Do you know what a saint is?" "It means being all-knowing and all-powerful across all the realms. Even if the universe is destroyed, a true saint will still remain eternal." Liu Nian still couldn't believe what was happening. He stood up and asked, "Are you really the Tongshan cult master? If so, then go ahead and talk." Right then, Liu Nian remembered something Shen Gong Bao had once said to Dao Ji. "Dao Ji, I remember Emperor Xin said before he died that he would be reincarnated after 1,000 years. Do you have any clues?" The essence of a human emperor is incredibly valuable. If someone were to absorb it, the Tongshan cult master's power would rise significantly. No matter how much you're in love, you still have to know what's more important. Thinking about this made Liu Nian instantly wary. "So, old man, did you come here to steal my essence?" Xiao Tong Tian replied with scorn, "What would I want that for? I'm not the corrupted Tongshan cult master from the demon realm. I'm the original soul of the real cult master. I took the form of Xiao Tong Tian to help you hide your fate and block the saints from discovering your true identity." Liu Nian felt a bit embarrassed hearing that. "As long as you're not here to kill me, it's fine. You really know how to hide someone's fate. No wonder my Fire Eye's golden gaze couldn't see through you." Right now, Liu Nian's Fire Eye's golden gaze was only at the beginner level. He remembered something Xiao Tong Tian had just said. "Earlier you mentioned the Jade Emperor hiding how terrifying the Divine Ward is from my lady. What did you mean by that?" Xiao Tong Tian quickly shared his theory. The Jade Emperor knew that my lady had a deep emotional connection with the hearts of mortals, so he thought the best thing to do was let her comfort the players who were feeling anxious inside the game world. Liu Nian thought back to the expressions on those mortals' faces just moments ago, and he suddenly felt it made sense. That's right, when I first walked through the streets, the city was shrouded in a heavy, deathly aura. But now, people have returned to their usual lively selves. In fact, their eyes even seem more resolute than before. Xiao Tongtian continued, the reason the Mei Lady is admired across the world is because of her compassion for humanity. If she ever found out that the Fengshen platform was built to suppress the fate of mankind, and that the Divine Ward is actually a tool used to drain all spiritual energy from humans to offer up to the Heavenly Court and this minor immortal cultivation realm, if she realized it was all just a game allowing ordinary people to play alongside the descendants of ancient immortals, a ritual where everyone must be killed to replenish the ranks of the heavenly soldiers, and that this army is part of a much larger hidden conspiracy, she wouldn't be able to calmly say the things she said. Xiao Tongtian recalled the look on the Lady's face and concluded, judging from her expression, I'd say she truly doesn't know. When Liu Nian heard this, he thought to himself, so the Fengshen platform and the Divine Board actually serve a purpose like that. He quickly asked, what happens after someone becomes a heavenly soldier? Xiao Tongtian replied right away, it's even more tragic than what happened to Wen Zhang and his people. They would become emotionless puppets without their own thoughts, knowing only how to kill for the heavenly court. Xiao Tongtian's eyes were filled with rage as he said, the 84,000 evil star warriors are my 84,000 disciples. After they were killed, the Divine Board turned them into puppets, what you all now call heavenly soldiers and heavenly generals. Once they die in battle, they can't enter reincarnation anymore. They either vanish into the abyss of darkness or disappear completely. Xiao Tongtian stepped closer to Liu Nian and continued, this grand sea plan caused a huge shortage of heavenly soldiers in the heavenly court. So the purpose of this game is to select people with strong spiritual power to join and make up for that loss. Those without enough spiritual power won't feel anything when they put on the game helmet and won't be transported into the game's miniature world. After hearing this, Liu Nian fell deep into thought. He told himself, my father, my cousin, and I must survive. We can't become heavenly soldiers, and Fang Qi and the others too. I have to protect them.